I'm Jason Bovada, and these are my 2022 NFL Week 6 picks. Okay, so for the first game of the NFL Week 6 schedule will be the Thursday night game, Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. These are two really bad teams on a short week. I wouldn't put either team in a single bet, so I'm not going to put either team in a parlay bet. The next game will be the Baltimore Ravens giving 5 points on the road to the New York Giants. I'm going to have to take the New York Giants. That Baltimore Ravens defense gives up a lot of points. Giants being at home, getting 5 points. They're a little bit underrated coming off of a impressive outright underdog win over the Packers, right? They beat the Packers last week. That was in London. So if you're going to give me 5 points for the Giants at home versus this Ravens team who are coming off of a win over the Bengals, I will take the New York Giants getting 5 points at home. The next game will be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the New Orleans Saints. Saints looked pretty good last week versus Seattle. I believe that was a home game. And Cincinnati, they lost their last game versus Baltimore. That was a road game. This is a tough one because who knows what's going on with... I would say I like the over in this game, right? It seems like this would be a kind of good over spot. I don't really take over and unders almost ever. So if I was to do anything in this game, I would probably tease the over. Get 6 points, 7 points, or 13 points on the over 43. But for this parlay, I don't think I could really trust the Bengals. They started their season like 0-3. And the Saints, Taysom Hill is now, I believe he's the quarterback. Winston is injured. This is a little bit not, I took the Saints when they played the Buccaneers at home and they lost that game. So I don't really want to take them getting 2 points here. Cincinnati should win this game, but they've been very disappointed. So I'm just going to skip this game. It's just not a good bet. I don't have a lean. It's just not a good bet. We'll see who does better. The winner looks good coming out of this game, and then the loser, you have to think about what the rest of their season looks like. So I don't want to bet. The line is too close. It's only 2.5. It's only 2 points for a home team coming off of a win. So that's a little bit surprising. I don't know what's going on there. I'm just going to skip that game. The next game will be the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. I don't love taking the Colts against the spread, so I'm just going to take because they could win by 1 point, right? I think the Colts do win this game, but I think Jonathan Taylor will probably be healthy for this game. The Colts coming off of not an impressive game. They played the Denver Broncos. The score was 12-9. Neither team scored a touchdown. That game ended in overtime, but that game was a Thursday night game, so the Colts have a little bit extra few days of rest. The Jacksonville Jaguars are coming off of an actual loss to the Houston Texans. That game was at home. That was a low-scoring game also. Houston has a really good defense. They keep teams really close. But if anything, in this game, I'm going to have to take the Colts. Maybe they found something in the last few weeks, but I can't take Jacksonville. I remember they lost their first game versus the Washington football team. I thought they were going to win that game, and then they lost to the Eagles. They were leading in that game. I can't take them to win this game. The next game, I'm going to have to... the idea of taking the Minnesota Vikings against the spread, it just seems like not a good idea. Unfortunately, I believe the Miami Dolphins are down to their third-string quarterback. So I feel like Vikings should win this game. I'm not going to take them against the spread. I cannot take the Vikings against the spread. I almost refuse. But they should win this game. So I'll take them on a money line to beat the Dolphins on the road. It's a road game for the Vikings. They were losing at home to the Lions, right? So this Vikings team is kind of up and down. I don't want to give 3 points for the Vikings on the road. I can't do that. Next game, I'm going to have to take the Patriots getting 3 points. I don't know what that's about. I'm not impressed with the Browns offense or the defense. Patriots coming off of a you say it was a pretty impressive win. You know, Detroit, they defeated Detroit Lions at home. I think that score was 29-0. Detroit Lions came into that game as one of the most high scoring offenses in the league, right? So the Patriots shut that down. Patriots, Bill Belichick has smoke with the Cleveland Browns, so I don't think he's going to let them beat them by too many points. And if they do lose, they probably lose by 1 or 2 points, hopefully. I'll take plus 3 points for the Patriots. Patriots probably are one of the best dogs to win outright this week, right? So you could look at adding the New England Patriots on a money line. I will most likely be teasing the Patriots also 6, 7, and up to 13 points for the Patriots. This is a tough one. Next game, we have the New York Jets versus the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what's going on with the Packers. As I mentioned, they lost to the New York Giants, but that game was it wasn't on the road. It was in London, so it wasn't a home game for either team. But the Packers still lost the game, and they were favorites in that game. Jets looked impressive in their last game. Zach Wilson is back as a starter for them. I definitely cannot give up 7 points for the Packers. So I'll just take the Packers on a money line. I think the Packers should at least win this game. Jets could probably keep it close, but I can't give 7 points for Packers. I don't think they defeated any team this season besides the Bears, right, by more than like 4 points or something like that. So I don't know what's going on with the Packers offense. I don't trust that defense too much. So if I take them, they're playing in Lambeau Field. They should at least win the game. I'm not going to play the point spread in this game. If anything, I'd probably tease the Packers down 6, 7, and 13 points. The next game, we have some injuries here. We have a lot of injuries on both sides of this game. The 49ers offense, I don't love it like that. I really do want to take against the spread bets, but this is Atlanta Falcons are, I believe they're like 5-0 against the spread. So Vegas is I don't know if they're getting it wrong or they're getting it right. People are, just underestimating how good this Falcons offense is. But from what I understand, Patterson, I believe, right? Was that Patterson, the running back, is out, and I believe Pitts is out. So that really is going to hurt this Falcons offense. But I think Bosa is out for the 49ers defense, and Mosley is out for the 49ers defense. So I can't not take the 49ers giving 6 points on the road against a team that's covered every single game this season. I'll just take the 49ers to win outright on a money line. The next game, these spreads, man, I'm not loving them this week. It's going to be a lot of teaser bets I'm going to have to get into. Pittsburgh Steelers coming off of you got to say, a pretty embarrassing loss. Back-to-back losses. They lost to the Jets. They lost to Buffalo. The line was 14 points. They were getting 14 points versus Buffalo, and they lost by 35 points. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't think in their total victories have been 9 points right? Like, I don't think they've defeated anybody by like more than 3 points this season. They were like 10 points favorites last week, as I mentioned, one against, ironically, the Atlanta Falcons, and they did not cover in that game, right? And they were at home in that game. Now they're going on a road to Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to get too many wins this season, so I can't see him getting a win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That defense is official. I'm just going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the money line. I can't give 10 points for, there's a lot of other teams. If they were playing the Steelers, I would probably take the 10 points. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like I said, I can't remember them winning too many games this season by more than 3 points. So I'm not going to give 9 points on the road. If this was a home game, I probably would take that, right? But it seems like if this was a home game, Tampa Bay would be favored by 14 or almost 15 points. So I'm just going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the money line. The next game, I gotta take underdogs, right? I gotta take underdogs. It's not a bad idea to take an underdog with one of the best home field advantages in a division game. So if you're gonna give me 3 points for the Seattle Seahawks, I think they're another good team that could win outright this weekend. Arizona Cardinals, they've come on lately. After that win over the Las Vegas Raiders, I think they believe they defeated the Panthers last week. Don't quote me on that. I know they won last week, so Arizona is definitely starting to come on. But you know what? I gotta take 3 points. Getting plus 3 points. Seattle, if I haven't mentioned, Seattle's coming off of a loss last week. They lost to the Saints last week, but they put up a lot of points. But, with them coming home, I believe their last 2 games are road games, right? Like they played in Detroit, right? And they scored like 59,000 points versus the Lions, and then they lost last week to the Saints. So this is a homecoming game, not a homecoming game, but I'm pretty sure they'll be happy to get home. Getting 3 points, division game, I'm going to have to take the Seattle Seahawks. That seems like a fair bet. Carolina Panthers fired their coach. Baker Mayfield, the quarterback, is injured. I don't know what's going on with Sam Darnold. I don't think he's the starter in this game, but I refuse. And when I say it, I refuse to bet on the Los Angeles Rams. I don't really know what I was going to do. At first, when I look at them, just like, yeah, you just take the Los Angeles Rams in on the money line. I'm definitely not taking them against the spread, but I guess I'll take the Los Angeles Rams on the money line. I don't like this bet at all. If we hit all the other bets and this bet loses, Carolina goes on the road and defeats the Rams, I'm not betting on the Rams for the rest of the season. And that's no cap. Next game, if you're going to give me 3 points for a home team, I'm going to have to take Kansas City. This line was, I think it was 2 points yesterday, and Kansas City started the game off down 17 points to the Las Vegas Raiders, but they came back to win the game by 1 point. They did not cover in that game. I think the line was like -7 for Kansas City versus the Raiders, and that game ended at -1 for Kansas City. So if Buffalo Bills coming off of a pretty impressive win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the game before that, who did Buffalo lose to? Was it Miami? Could have been Miami. I think it was Miami. I don't think Buffalo has that many losses this season. Yeah, they lost to Miami, and then they defeated, was it the Ravens? I have no idea. I'm guessing this offhand. I can't remember. But either way, this is going to be, I shouldn't even bet in this game. This is probably the game where it's probably best to just be a fan. But you know what? I really like Kansas City Chiefs. Kelsey coming off a 4-touchdown performance. As I mentioned, Kansas City won their game last night. That was a home game. So on a short week, Kansas City is going to stay home. This is not Kansas City going to Buffalo. It seems like if Kansas City was going to Buffalo, they would be almost plus like 10 points, right? Like if you think about it, I know it's like normal plus 3 points for the home team, but the Buffalo Bills are like plus at least like 7-8 points at home at this point. So I would imagine if this was a road game, Kansas City would be getting like plus 7 to 10 points. I think Kansas City's another team or another one of those underdogs who's a really good bet to win outright. We'll see who's the best team in the AFC. It's probably, like I said, it's probably not even a good game to even bet on. But because I really do like Kansas City, and I'm a little bit biased watching that game last night, I'm going to take Kansas City plus 3 at home, right? The next game, I can't get the Eagles out of my head. They're 5-0. They're coming off of a win over, hold on, didn't they just defeat the Cardinals? What was I talking about with the Cardinals? Right? Eagles just defeated the Cardinals. What was I don't know what the hell I was talking about with the Cardinals defeating the Panthers. That's impossible. But Eagles defeated the Cardinals last week. That was a road game for the Eagles. Cowboys coming off of a win over the Rams. That was a road game for the Cowboys, and they were underdogs in that game. This line started at, I think I saw it at 6, at least 5.5, and this line is moving towards the Cowboys. Eagles at home, I can't get that game that they were losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars in that home game. At some point, they were down by like 14 points. Because it's a division game, Eagles are 5-0. They're bound to have a letdown game sooner or later. Cowboys are really good. They're 4-1, right? So both teams are pretty official. Only one loss between both of them. It being a division game, it being a personal game, I'm gonna have to take the Eagles on a money line. I can't give 4.5 points to the Eagles, who gave up like 35 points to the Lions in NFL Week 1. That Cowboys defense is official. One of the best defenses in the NFL, right? You would say they're at least top 5 best defense in the NFL. We'll see how good the Eagles are. I think this is probably the best team they've played all season. I know they demolished the Vikings, but the Vikings are, the Vikings, and that was a road game for the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins doesn't play well in primetime games. So we'll see how good this is, how good the Eagles are. Can they move to 6-0 by defeating the Cowboys, or do the Cowboys go into Philadelphia and defeat the Eagles, the undefeated Eagles? Who knows? That's going to be a good game. And for the last game, I need some against the spread bets. So I'm just kind of crazy, but I'm going to take the Chargers -5 points. I'm so over the Denver Broncos. As I mentioned, they played at home versus the Indianapolis Colts. They did not score a single touchdown in that game. I could see the Chargers putting up 35 points in this game and the Broncos only putting up 12. So I'm going to take the Chargers against the spread. This line started at 6. It was higher. It's people. I don't know why people are betting on the Broncos. There's some injury news, not injury news. I guess it was injury news about Wilson. Something's going on with his shoulder. I think he has a tear in his shoulder. Something going on there. With this being a Monday night game, this is a Monday night. Yep, Monday night game. Chargers. I'm going to have to take the Chargers -5. It's kind of crazy because it's a division game, but sooner or later, this Chargers team is going to step up. The Raiders are like 1-4. The Broncos are like 2-3 or something like that. They don't have too many wins. So sooner or later, one of these two teams are going to step out in this division. I think this is a prime time example of the Chargers taking the second place in division by defeating the Broncos. I don't see the Broncos winning this game, so I really need some against the spread bets. I don't have too many against the spread bets. What do we have? Like 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 against the spread and 7 money lines. You wanted to get a few more against the spread bets in there, but so I'm just gonna jump on the Chargers just because I don't like the Denver Broncos, and like I said, I think this could be a game where the Chargers break out and put up at least 35 points, and I can't see the Broncos putting up more than 20 points in this game. I just can't. Okay, so we have a 12-team parlay right now. As you know, this is probably the best time for sports betting. I like to have, as much as we can with some of these parlay bets. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in some boxing. There's a lot of boxing events happening this weekend. Some of these boxing events go unnoticed because there's so much going on. But I'm going to have to add for this weekend, I believe Deontay Wilder is coming back this weekend, and Haney. So I want to add both of them to this parlay. Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight, coming back, and Haney, the undisputed champion, lightweight champion, will be defending his belt. So I'll add those two to this parlay. That seems like easy money. I will do separate parlays with Wilder and Haney on their own. But I think both of these fighters win their fight this weekend. A lot of fights this weekend. Plant, that's going to be a good one. I'm not going to add Plant to this parlay because if he loses, I can't, my parlay is done. But we'll add those two to this NFL parlay. So we have a 14-team parlay. We're going to take the New England Patriots +3 on the road against the spread versus the This is a 14-team parlay plus 37.92. Not the craziest parlay. I wanted to get a few more against the spread bets in there, but what can you do? First bet we're going to take will be the New England Patriots +3 against the spread versus the Cleveland Browns. We're taking the New York Giants against the spread +5 at home versus the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to take the Minnesota Vikings on a money line on the road versus Miami Dolphins. The Philadelphia Eagles on a money line at home versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Green Bay Packers On a money line at home versus the New York Jets, the Kansas City Chiefs battle for the best team in the AFC, getting plus 3 points against the spread at home versus the Buffalo Bills. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a money line on the road versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Haney, we're going to take him to defeat Cambosis, and we're going to take Wilder to defeat Robert. Those are two boxing fights. We wanted to add a little bit more juice to this parlay. We're taking the Monday night game, the Los Angeles Chargers -5 against the spread at home versus the Denver Broncos. The Seattle Seahawks +3 at home versus Arizona Cardinals. Indianapolis Colts on a money line at home versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Los Angeles Rams at home on a money line at home versus the Carolina Panthers. And the San Francisco 49ers on the road on a money line versus the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to risk $3.43 to win $1,056.15. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my 2022 NFL Week 6 picks. 14-team parlay. We're taking New England Patriots +3. The New York Giants +5, Minnesota Vikings on the money line, the Philadelphia Eagles on the money line, Green Bay Packers on the money line, Kansas City Chiefs +3, Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the money line, Haney to win his fight, Wilder to win his fight, 2 boxing matches, the Los Angeles Chargers -5, Seattle Seahawks +3, Indianapolis Colts on the money line, the Los Angeles Rams on the money line, and the San Francisco 49ers on a money line. This is a 14-team parlay. Will I go 14-0 or will I go 0-14? Let me know what are your NFL Week 6 picks. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? What's your lock of the week? Who's your favorite home team of the week? Who's your favorite road team of the week? What's your upset / underdog pick of the week? And which games are you looking forward to watching the most? I gotta be. There's some good games this week. I'm gonna tune in to the Giants versus Baltimore. I want to see what the Vikings do versus Miami. Obviously, the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think that's a Sunday night game. I'll peek into the Packers versus Jets. I think the Packers should just run away with that game, but it seems like pretty obvious the game that will probably get the most views. I mean, the Cowboys and the Eagles, that's going to be a big one, but Kansas City and Buffalo, that is just the game everybody's just going to clearly be tuning in on. Obviously, we'll see what Haney and Wilder does with their boxing events. Buccaneers should easily win versus the Steelers. Their Chargers, that's the Monday night game. We'll see if Seattle at home versus the Cardinals, that should be a pretty good game. I'll peek into Indianapolis versus Jacksonville. I don't know how much I'm going to pay attention to the Carolina Panthers and the Rams game. I'm not too crazy about that game. And then we'll see what's happening with the 49ers and Atlanta. They should run away and win that game. I am Jason Bovada. These are my 2022 NFL Week 6 picks, 14-team parlay, risking $3.43 to win $1,056.15. Thank you for watching.